Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be about how being an authentic person can help defeat narcissism. Stay tuned. So I want to talk about authenticity and what it means to be authentic and how it can help defeat narcissism or the effects of narcissistic abuse. This is like the superpower of overcoming all of the stuff that you went through, is this right here. Before I talk more on that though, I want to ask, are you subscribed yet? If not, make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss any of my content. I upload 2 videos per week. Would love it if you became part of this community. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really does help support me as a small YouTuber. As always, I appreciate all the support that everyone has given me thus far. Being an authentic person really means to be real to who you are, what your beliefs are, what your values are, and the way this is established is really getting to know you for you. And when people go through narcissistic abuse, when they're in a relationship with a narcissist or they have narcissistic parents, they really do lose this. You don't know who you are anymore. Really, when I left my situation, if someone asked me like, what are your values, what are your beliefs, like who are you, I would be like, no clue. Because that gets taken away from you through the cycle of abuse. It really does. When someone leaves an abusive relationship, especially with someone who's a narcissist or a sociopath, their internal dialogue is no longer their own. It is that of their abuser. Everything they think about themselves, everything that they think about the world, how they perceive the world, is that through the lens of the abuser. We lose the ability to be authentic. So I want to talk about how to become an authentic person and then why it defeats a narcissist. Becoming authentic, really learning who we are, what we believe in, how to stand up for what we believe in is a process. It's not a process that is going to be achieved in a day, a week, even months, even years. An ongoing process of human growth to be true to ourselves. And that's because it's really hard to not be influenced by other people or popular opinions in the world, not acting according to how we think we should act. Most of our behavior is actually a product of how we think others think we should behave. I can explain behaviors like always needing to be on a diet because we believe society thinks that we need to be fit, thin, and shape, going along with certain beliefs that we believe are the common popular beliefs. Those of us that struggle with people pleasing or setting boundaries with others because we don't want to upset other people kind of tend to fall into this kind of just go with the flow idea. The problem with that is that it leaves us living a very inauthentic life. Like we're not living the life that we want to live or doing what we want to do. We're living it how we think other people should think we should live it. And when you're in an abusive relationship, a lot of your actions and thoughts are controlled or they're criticized. You're very, very manipulated to believe certain things in a certain way. So you really, really do lose that authenticity, the core of who you are. What are your beliefs? Who am I as a person? So we need to get that back, and it's going to be a journey. It is going to take time. So some tips in order to help you find your authenticity. Number 1 is know what the real perceived reality is. This can be hard when you've gone through years of things like gaslighting and psychological manipulation. Like, what is the reality? I've been told for so long that my reality is not accurate to what I thought it was. You've been manipulated into believing another person's reality for a very long time. One thing that was really helpful for me to help me understand the actual reality of the situation was I would run things by other people that I trusted. If you need to start there, it's okay. It is okay if you don't have a firm grasp on what the reality is, especially just getting out of a toxic relationship, getting out of a relationship with a narcissist. Needing to run things by other people that you trust, that you know are not toxic, that you know are your supports, is okay to do. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It's a learning process. This needs to be relearned. It's okay to go to someone like, okay, this is a situation. This is what I think is happening with the situation. And it's important that you give a full perspective of the situation, not just your perspective. What do you think? Of course, people's opinions are going to be different. And sometimes it can be helpful to maybe run it by multiple people if that is the case. If you feel like someone's opinion is like, I don't know about that, maybe ask another person. Running things by people that are of sound mind can really, really help sort through that spider web that's going on in your mind about what the reality is. Eventually, over time, you will build confidence to really know what's going on in a situation, to know if something is completely BS or if it's actually true, because narcissists like to feed anything. It's a lot of BS. The second thing is that you're accepting of yourself. And this really comes down to taking ownership of who you are as a person. And guys, this includes both your strengths and flaws. It's easy for us to accept our strengths, like, hey, I'm really good at this thing, and then not want to accept our flaws, be like, I'm not so good at that thing. We just won't talk about that thing. I don't like that thing. We have to accept who we are as a person, all of the things, and we have to do it to the core. There is a skill that exists in something called dialectical behavioral therapy, or DBT. You may or may not be familiar with this branch of therapy. If you've been in therapy before, depending on, you might have heard of DBT. It's a term called radical acceptance. And it's this idea that we are going to fully and wholly accept situations as they are without fighting back. Doesn't mean we have to like it. It also means that we're not going to try to push back against something that's immovable. Because if we push back against things that are immovable, we're only going to get hurt. We're only going to suffer. So it's taking a situation as it is. We can also apply radical acceptance to ourselves and accepting or radically accepting who we are as people. I once spoke with someone who was in a narcissistic relationship, and she also had depression. Her ex really liked to play into that and to her depression to make her feel like a flawed person. You know, they like to make you feel crazy, so if there is some sort of diagnosis that they can twist it that way, they're probably going to. Really, the key for this person was to accept that they did have a diagnosis of depression and they did struggle sometimes. And that was okay. It's okay to have depression. It's not something that you chose. It's not under your control. You can have depression and you can be a great person. Applying the concept of radical acceptance to ourselves can really help us take full ownership of who we are as people, and that can help us learn to live an authentic life. Number 3 is learning how to have a good sense of humor. Guys, I probably laugh at myself more than anyone else laughs at me, and if people are laughing at me, I'm okay with that. You know what? I am who I am, and sometimes I do things that are funny. Try not to take it seriously. It's okay with me. I used to take it very seriously, but you know what? It's okay. None of us are perfect. We can laugh at ourselves when we make mistakes. It's important that our sense of humor is in a non-hostile flavor, meaning that we approach life and our mistakes in the most lighthearted way that we possibly can. Having a light heart and a good sense of humor is learning how to be our authentic selves. Number 4, really learning about our emotions, and not only really learning about how we feel, but learning how to express it in an appropriate way. Meaning that we want to express our emotions open and freely and clearly and be non-apologetic about how we're feeling. When we were abused, we were told that we couldn't feel certain ways, or our emotions were severely minimized. Learning how to be open and free with our emotions, to state how we're feeling in different circumstances, is going to teach you how to be authentic about your feelings. Also going to undo that repression that you learned because you weren't open to freely express your feelings when you were with a narcissist. Being able to say things like, I feel sad right now in this situation, and it's okay. I can feel sad. This is a situation that made me sad. It's going to be uncomfortable at first. It's not going to be something that you're used to doing, but the more that you can practice it, the more you will get used to it. Number 5, you're open to learning from your mistakes. And this is something that a narcissist will never understand, because narcissists are not capable of learning from their mistakes. Next to having a sense of humor about our mistakes, we can also learn from them, and that can help us live a more authentic life. We have something the narcissist doesn't have: learning from our mistakes. The narcissist doesn't want you to learn from your mistakes. They like to keep tally on all of your mistakes. Like, you made a mistake like 10 years ago, it's going to come up again. Most likely it will come up as part of their smear campaign or harassment campaign, or to really get you in the gut when they feel like they need to use it. The cool thing about not being a narcissist is that we do have the ability to grow and change, and we can take ownership of that. We can put that into practice, and they can't do that. Number 7 is understanding your motivations. What is it that you want? What are your goals? Now, I want to make a whole video actually dedicated to this just one trait, because goal setting can be really complicated, and I think it's very different than what a lot of people think it is. But just establishing certain areas that you want to be, like what directions do you want to go, can really help develop authenticity. And it's important that they're your goals, they're not other people's goals for you. What do you want? Do you want to go back to college and get that degree? Do you want to start a business? What are your goals? A lot of the time when you're in an abusive relationship, you're told that your goals are crap or unattainable, and it can just be really, really defeating to try to picture yourself going after anything that you want when you have someone that you're supposed to trust telling you that that is stupid and dumb. Setting goals, setting realistic goals that are obtainable, can really, really help develop authenticity. And then also when you do hit those goals, it really, really can give you a tremendous sense of power and accomplishment, which is very, very healing in and of itself. We're taking back control, and if you want to take back control, do the things that I just stated. It will help you become authentic. It will help you take back power and control over your own life that was in the hands of someone else that it should not have ever been in. So how does all of that defeat narcissism? Well, kind of already talked a little about it, but you lose your authenticity when you're with a narcissist. Getting your authenticity back gives you that power to really know who you are when you lost who you are, to set yourself up for the success that you couldn't have according to them. They'll give you a firm grasp on who you are so you know. So when someone tells you things that are not true, you're going to look at them and be like, no, I know what you're saying is not true. It's BS. That is not what I meant. That is not what I said. That is not who I am. And you are wrong. And you know this because you are living your most authentic self and your most authentic life. When you develop and build that authenticity, all of the narcissistic attacks against you, they're just going to bounce off you like rubber bullets. There is no place that you can get me anymore. Like, I know who I am. So it is not your job to tell me who I am. It is my job to tell me who I am. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel, helps spread this content to other people that can benefit from it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Don't miss any of my videos, and I will see you in the next one.